What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I believe that this is the moment of truth for ADA, especially in the short to midterm, and so I want to tell you exactly what you need to be on the lookout for right now and what you can start to expect next. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. And don't forget, my friends, if you do want to start trading some Bitcoin, Solana, Sui, and many more on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, if you do sign up specifically with my link down there on this page, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. Guys, this means that if you deposit, say, $3,000, they're going to give you $300 on the spot to start trading with. And if you turn that into, say, $1,000, all the profit that you make is completely yours, no strings attached. It's literally an opportunity to make some free gains during this bull market on a very good trading platform. So if you do want to go check that out, of course, again, I will leave the link to that down below. Now, before we dive into what is happening right now, what I want to do is give you a quick little recap and zoom out to the daily chart so you can see what the big picture is. Because my general thesis is that it's important to understand what the big picture is in the macro to understand why micro movements are so important. And if we do zoom out to the daily charts, the picture that we're seeing painted is actually still incredibly good. It's one that people don't even recognize. I think ADA is still a sleeping giant. I think it's getting a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of attention recently, but if it does what it might do and what it's seemingly preparing itself to do, I think is going to absolutely blow up. Now, the reason that I say that is because what we've been tracking recently has been ADA's development of not only just this cup and handle pattern, but quite simply the fact that it's starting to wake up and push up towards the golden Fibonacci zone. What you have to understand is that oftentimes when you have structures of this nature, big cup and handle patterns like this, it usually implies that some sort of more macro move to the upside very well may happen in the grand scheme of things. I mean, a bear market cup and handle usually leads to a bull market pump, right? And so what we've noticed and what we've been talking about with ADA specifically with this cup and handle pattern is that, if its price does continue to break out of here, that gives us breakout targets all the way back up towards $3.43, which coincidentally, LOL, aligns exactly with that previous high. And the reason I say that is because these things aren't coincidence, right? We see this all the time and people think these things are coincidences. They're not. I don't know how to explain it, but they're not. And so when you see a breakout target align perfectly with a previous all-time high, you have to recognize like, oh, we now have a macro structure that perfectly gets us up towards that previous all-time high. Maybe it's time to pay attention. Now, as XRP's price has been trying to break out of that cup and handle pattern, we've now started to interact with the golden zone. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know that I believe that the golden zone is the most important level of resistance that there is in crypto. Generally speaking, if a cryptocurrency is capable of breaking the golden Fibonacci zone, it opens up the door for a macro Fibonacci extension, which quite simply just means that if it breaks this golden box between $1.14 and $1.80, it has a breakout target now of anywhere from $6.67 to $16.91. Now, do I know if ADA is going to 16 bucks? No, not so sure about that. But I do believe, $6, $7, $8 is very possible. I think that's very likely. And seeing a good 2x off that previous all-time high, I think that's possible. Now, yeah, if we go into a raging bull market and we see the total market cap of crypto going up towards 10 trillion, yeah, and ADA Cardano pushing up to, or Cardano ADA, however you want to call it, pushing up towards $17, $16 isn't impossible, but I don't want to think that far in advance. I'm okay with just thinking about a solid little 4 or 5x from here. And so that's what we've been watching, and that's why we've been eyeing this golden zone like a hawk. And so knowing that the goal here is to get above the golden zone, now you'll start to understand why what we're doing right now is so important and why you need to watch it closely. So now that you have that recap in mind, let's talk a little bit about what's happening now and what is going to seemingly happen next. Now, I will warn you, some of the stuff that we're about to get into, if you are a beginner, could get a little bit confusing, especially if you're kind of new to all of this. So if you are someone who's just new to this crypto space and you're just trying to figure all this crypto stuff out, or maybe you're on the opposite side of the spectrum and you're super advanced, but you're just trying to add more tools to your toolbox, all that I ask from you is to stick around to the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys how you can join into the Discord server, get access to all the classes, coaching sessions, and workshops that we're doing that are generating our community hundreds of percentages and gains every single day. So if you're interested in that, you want to get better at this whole crypto thing, again, all that I ask you is just to stick around to the end of the video. So now that you, of course, again, know what the goal is, and the goal is to clear the golden box, well, let's answer the first question. Why is now the moment of truth? What does that even mean? Well, if ADA Cardano's price is capable of breaking above the barrier that's in front of it right now, I believe that it is going to start working its way not only just into this golden box, but opening up the door to start breaking out of the golden box. What you need to remember is that this golden box is a major resistance zone, and the longer that we sit below it, the more time we spent below it, the more likely it is that we will get rejected off towards the bottom side, because that's just how these things work. And knowing that, obviously, what we need to really be considering is like, oh my goodness, well, if ADA Cardano is is not able to make this move that it's trying to make right now, a rejection to the downside could be on the way. And ADA isn't a stranger to ABC corrections, right? ADA is not a stranger to seeing an A wave to the downside, a B correction back up to resistance, and then a C wave even further, meaning that ADA's price could still have a price target. I mean, we could see this bad boy falling anywhere from 70 to 81 cents, which I don't really think anybody wants to see. And so knowing that, of course, and knowing that, well, if we don't get rejected and we do break up through it, we might start trying to work our way through this golden box, which is our ticket to $6. But if we do get rejected, we might see ADA's price fall friggin', 29 to 30% to the downside. It's obviously extremely important to watch what's happening now. So let me kind of make it a little bit more of a practical approach for what exactly you can be on the lookout for and exactly how you can gauge whether or not we are making that progress that we're looking for. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the previous high that we put in right around $1.33 back here on, let's see, December 3rd of 2024. And you're going to draw in a Fibonacci from that high all the way down to the low we put in right around 91 cents right here on December 9th or also on December 10th. So that's going to look something like this: swing high to swing low. And what you're going to recognize when you do that is that the 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone, the micro golden zone, is sitting directly above us now. What this means to me is that ADA Cardano is about to decide whether or not it's going to open up its own little short-term door to the upside that'll then open up the long-term door to the upside. What I mean by that is that, quite simply, if we just go back and let's put that macro golden box on there. So remember, this is the big golden box we're trying to clear. If ADA is capable of breaking through the short-term golden box, this one right here, it opens up the door to start working its way into the big golden box. Because remember, this golden box is the one that gets us up towards $6.50. This little golden box gets us into the big box, if that makes sense, right? So it's a progressive thing. You need to clear this little golden box to get in the big golden box. If you break the big golden box, you can see $6 or $7. And ADA is making that decision right now. So what I want you to go ahead and do is I want you to actually go ahead and take a rectangle, and I want you to draw a Fibonacci in that golden zone that ADA Cardano's price is sat in. And this is how we can determine whether or not it's getting rejected or not. If ADA's price is capable of breaking through this golden box, the door is wide open, in my opinion, to start pushing up to what I think could be $1.45 to $1.50 to start really trying to make a mark within this golden zone. But if ADA's price gets rejected, I think it's an extremely strong likelihood that we at minimum see it come back to a short-term fib to the bottom side, meaning a return back towards $1, which could possibly be a pullback of anywhere from 10 to 15%. And so I'm personally not doing any buying, any selling, any longing, any shorting. I'm not doing anything until I start seeing what's going to happen here. Because quite frankly, the bulls are about to have to make a major decision. Do we have enough momentum to break this golden box or not? Because whether it does or whether it doesn't is truly going to determine what the future for ADA looks like for what could be the rest of this year. And so it's an easy situation for me, quite frankly. I'm not doing anything. I know you guys prefer those videos where I have a trade set up, or I have a buy, or I have a sell, or I have these things, but this is not one of them. What you can't do is try to force trades. You can't try to force yourself into a position that, quite frankly, just doesn't make sense. That's how you lose. If you really want to be prepared for these moves and make moves without having any regret, you have to just make sure that you're having those abilities to sit back and not doing anything, or not do anything. And that's exactly where I'm at right now. Because quite frankly, buying right here does not make sense on either front. Option number one is that ADA is going to break to the upside. Now I can buy some ADA knowing that I don't have a major zone of resistance sitting directly above me like I do right now. Option number two is ADA's price comes back down towards $1. Then I can buy some at a lower price when it's a lot more likely that it returns back to the upside. So with both of those scenarios in mind, why in the world would I be doing some buying on ADA right now? I wouldn't. And so because of that, my current strategy and game plan is that I am, again, simply just going to sit back, wait and watch, allow for this to develop, determine whether or not we break to the upside or the downside, do we get rejected or not, and then I'm going to start making my moves from there. And so what I want you to do is I want you to put this golden box on your chart and watch it like a hawk. Set your notifications, set your alerts, and just watch it. And when we get a clear idea of what direction ADA is going in, whether it's the downside or the upside, I'll make a video for you exactly explaining exactly what you need to be on the lookout for. But as of right now, this is what you need to be watching. This is what you need to keep an eye on, and I'll keep you updated as it does play out. So watch it very closely again, set those alerts, and be on the lookout for the next video on ADA, because I'm going to have a whole bunch of updates once this thing does start moving. And now, as I said earlier, if you're somebody who is simply just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, what I want you to check out is the Patreon link down below. If you check out the Patreon link down below, guys, you're going to see two major options: $17 a month or $5 a month. These are the costs of Netflix subscriptions or cheaper, but what you're going to get access to is insane in terms of value, at least in my opinion. You're going to get access to my thoughts and insights, and also sometimes the things that I'm buying and selling. I told them some of the things that I was pulling profits from last night and much more. You're going to get exclusive live shows for only Patreon members every single day, Monday through Friday, and we actually just announced a couple more shows that'll be coming on a weekly basis. You're going to get daily technical analysis on all your favorite cryptos, daily fundamental analysis on the market itself. I've hired 2 teams of professional traders that are posting their buy and sell signals every single day that they're trading, and you need to remember, these are people whose businesses and livelihoods rely on them trading well, and they're giving you their buy and sell signals every single day. We have premium classes on things like the Bollinger Bands, XRP itself, the Fibonacci's. We have beginners courses on things like leverage trading and technical analysis. I have 3 more beginners courses coming out, guys. These are 30 minutes long, 20-page presentations, vocabulary sheets, cheat sheets, all types of stuff to help you beginners really start learning how all this stuff works. And then there's Tips with Tyler, which are just these 2 to 3 minute long videos, just kind of on random things. And you can pause it right now and read this so you can see what some of the things that we made the videos on. And so all of this stuff combined are helping our community just absolutely explode in terms of growth. We've seen so many gains. I mean, look, this is just yesterday. Look at the gains that are being printed. 77, 100%, 200%, 60%, 100%. And we're again just in yesterday, 200% gainer there. 26, 90, 129. Again, all just yesterday. This isn't even 15 hours ago that all of these gains have been printed. So if you want to be someone who's learning all these lessons, developing your strategies, getting better at this crypto thing, and turning into real gains, real profit, real money during this bull market to make the most of this bull market, all that I ask again is you just go check that Patreon link down below, because it's the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, which is crazy value in my opinion. So go check that out. Let me know what you think, and don't forget, listen, we post 6, 7, 8 videos a day on the channel here. So if you do want to stay as caught up as possible on this whole crypto thing, all that I ask from you, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.